If you've clicked on this video, I want to say thank you for tuning in. And before we get started, I'd like to mention I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion going to slander, belittle, or bash anyone in this video. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I will only give my non-biased opinion from a viewer's perspective while respecting the families and the privacy aside from the show. Hey everybody, welcome back. Where we left off last week was the group arriving at the vacation home in Blue Ridge Mountain, Georgia. After everyone got settled in, the group was sitting down at the table and the topic of Anila's home being robbed was brought up once again. Anila brought up the concern that she felt like she was being grilled about the robbery, and that rolled over into a conversation about a polygraph test. Now, I did state in the previous video, I do not believe Toya had anything to do with a house robbery. Honestly, there's just too much to lose for her and Eugene. Nor do I believe Anila or Dr. Kieran set it up themselves either. I've already given my theory on what I may suspect may have happened. If you do not remember, go back and watch my other videos. I did talk about that, but yeah, I don't believe any one of them had anything to do with that. It's just too much on the line. But that discussion roused Miss Quad up, and she's now into a quarrel with Toya at the table, which I really felt like had nothing to do with her and really kind of made her look in a bad light at the table. I'll just say that. It was all really quite interesting, but none as interesting as what Dr. Heavenly had to say. Listen to this.
Anila would need Miss Gomez to help her plan a break-in if she did a break-in, okay? Because she can't do it by herself, okay? Anila can't do too much by herself. What else you got to
But anywho, Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott then arrive, and that's when the women have moved over already to the living area to sit down and have a group discussion, and the men remove themselves to go play pool. And it's at this point that the group decides that it would be beneficial for Toya and Audra to address their issues with one another. And I don't know, it could just be me, but I'm seeing a different side of Toya in this season. We usually see a catty Toya, real quick with it and, you know, quick to respond to everything. But in this season, she does seem a little bit sadder, like she has things outside of the show that's going on. But that could just be me. But on to the discussion. Right out the gate, Toya goes first and brings up the altercation with Audra. And at this point, Audra appears completely calm, while Toya's demeanor is sort of the opposite. Once it appears that she's got everything out that she wants to say and Dr. Jackie has calmed her down, she settles long enough to hear what Audra has to say, in which she admits that she's felt attacked by Toya since she first arrived in the friend group, starting with quote-unquote a not very good lawyer comment to the champion outfit comment, right down to the fight at Quad's holoslay party, not to mention the altercation / argument at Dr. Simone's house for the book discussion. And it's at this point that I actually see Audra. Her humility in this scene tells me everything I need to know about her, because up until this point, I wasn't really fond of her. And I don't know if it's the 10 seconds of pregnancy or not, but whatever it is, I like it. It worked out well because they were able to resolve a lot of issues in this one scene alone. But then Toya's explanation then comes to an emotional point in which she reflects back to the physical altercation with Mariah, who was a previous cast member. She stated that at that point in her life, out of fear of being labeled a bad mom and wife, by this point we're seeing tears from both her and Audra, and you can see it's received from both ends. And for the first time in this season, it appears that they're able to make amends. Throughout this season, I don't know if y'all noticed, but they keep cutting back and forth between the men and the women, their groups. And I must say, it never ceases to amaze me how different their interactions can be. The carefree and drama and freeness of the men's group versus all the hostility and uproar with the women's group. It's refreshing and funny at the same time because they could care less. And they're always in their own world. That is so funny. But back to the women. So then you see Dr. Jackie attempt to try to get Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly to discuss their issues, in which Dr. Contessa completely shuts that down. She states that she's been working all day and mentally she's just not at that point where she can address it, which I think everyone could understand considering every attempt up till that point has been darn near deadly. They had one semi-breakthrough which didn't last long, and I said it wouldn't last long and I was right, but ever since then it has went back to what it was mess. And based off of these two personalities, I don't see it being fixed anytime soon. And I really honestly hate that for them, because these are two beautiful, powerful women. And, you know, their friendship was endearing at one point, and I would love to see it get back on one accord. But at this point, it's very upsetting, and I really do hope for the best for their future friendship. So cut to the next morning. Dr. Jackie has planned the whole day out. For the men, she has planned a day of bowling for them and a spa day at the cabin for the ladies. So the men go to get ready for that, and while they're getting ready, Toya and Anila attempt to have their conversation at the kitchen table. Audra happens to be present at that moment as well, and almost immediately Quad is now number one on the enemy list. Anila says at the holiday party she was only there with the rumor spreading lady because Quad invited her at the last minute. So now Toya's frustration is no longer aimed at Anila but Quad. Here's my thing. Toya and Anila had friction before that holiday party, and Quad wasn't involved in it. But now it seems that the first chance that they get to pick a villain, they go for it. But that's just me. They were able, however, to resolve their issues there at the table, and you see them as well for the first time in a while come to a common ground and what seems like making amends with each other. So far, minus her issues or friction with Quad, it seems like this is proven to be a good trip for Toya, and she's making very good amends with the bad relationship she's had recently with her friends in the friend group, which is great for her. Then the camera cuts to the bowling alley with the men, and upon them conversing with one another, the topic of the break-in is brought up within their friend group as well. And once again, you see Eugene and Toya being brought up as the topic of the break-in. Eugene expresses how, you know, the rumors of that, even the notion of it hurts his feelings. And then Dr. Karen expresses that if he even slightly thought that anybody in his friend group would do anything close to that, he wouldn't even be in the friend group to begin with, which is what I said all along. Why would you want to be friends with people that you don't trust, especially involving violent or malicious acts? That's just crazy to me. But then Dr. Karen goes on to tell Eugene that he's never accused Toya and him of setting up robbery on their house or anything remotely close to that, but us as the viewers know differently. He may not have accused them, but he definitely implied it. But anywho, the cameramen jump back to the women at the house for their spa day, and I think the highlight of this episode, I would have to say, is when Contessa showed the whole world her smack mammy. It's no secret that Contessa has an athletic goddess bod, but my suspicions I had all along were confirmed in this episode when I said everyone on the cast and crew is crushing on Contessa, and it's been set up like that because even as the viewers, we crushing on her too. Heck, her and Dr. Jackie go together now. At least that's what she said, because she couldn't keep her hands off of Dr. Jackie by the end of this episode. She ain't the only one either. Y'all remember Toya all over Dr. Jackie in Las Vegas? But anyway, it ends with a dinner with discussions of sexual relations and the couple's activities. And from the looks of the glimpse into the next week's episode, things are going to go from pleasant to disastrous, with hints of arguments between Contessa and Heavenly, and then drama between Quad and Toya, which we already seen that brewing up based off of this episode. So yeah. Also, next week's episode is the season finale, and then after that we have the reunion. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait to see and give you all my first-hand commentary. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I did sound a little stuffy in this video because I'm having so many issues with my allergies right now. Every time the seasons change, my allergies just go crazy. But I thank you all for bearing with me. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. To give it a thumbs up. Share if you care. And until next time, bye.